Welcome to this video for OCR Cambridge Technicals Level 3 in Information Technology. In this video we're looking at Unit 8 Project Management and we're having a look at Criteria Merit 2, M2. This criteria says you need to carry out and document a phase review of the project plan. Now you may know that in P4, when you had to produce the project plan, it asks you to carry out or conduct a phase review there. And if you remember in the video, I asked you to leave it at that point because we're going to revisit it when we get to M2. And hopefully that'll become apparent why you should do that, because it's easier to complete all the work on all the assessment evidence in M2 rather than duplicating it another time. Okay, so as with all the videos, we'll have a look at the assessment criteria, we'll talk through what they're looking for you to do, and then we'll have a look at some example work from a candidate. So here we are then with the assessment grading criteria, and if you have a look at P4, you developed a project plan for the identified project. So we used the example of a website, and you talked and discussed a project plan around the resources that you require, the time constraints, the acceptability plan, risks that you might come across, finances, and so on. And that was P4. What we're now going to do is use that same document P4, but we're going to use it to carry out and document a phase review of the project. Now you should already know that a phase review is a review of how the project's going. So not at the end of the project, but halfway through, or maybe 2 or 3 weeks into it. At different stages there is a review, a formal review of a project to ensure that it's on track. Because obviously if it isn't working right, then the project can be changed. More money can be put in, risks can be alleviated to ensure the project does come to fruition and is completed. So you're going to carry out a phase review. You'll need your P4 document, so you'll need to load that one up. And let's have a look at let's have a look at the candidate's work, and you can see how this M2 is going to work. Once you've loaded up your P4, you're going to need to save a new version as M2. So just be careful you don't overwrite the original P4 document. You can have 2 versions or 2 documents. The first document is called P4, and that's your original document. You're then going to open it, you're going to save it as M2, the phase review. Okay. Now in the phase review, you're going to basically review all of the plans that you said you were going to do. So in this example, we've got the resource plan for this student, we've got their finance plan, their quality plan, their risk plan, and the acceptance plan, and this is all completed in P4. The thing we're adding now, or the work for the assessment you need to do, is you need to review it. And what you're doing here is looking at what you said you were going to do and then commenting on it. So if I give you a really simple example, one resource I need for designing my website is Wix. This is because I need to produce the website, and this will do it for me. And then in the phase review, they've said I'm still using Wix. It took me some time to get used to. So they're kind of evaluating the choices that they decided or made back in the P4. Remember, this phase review is done kind of 2, 3, 4 weeks into the project. Could be halfway through the project, and the idea is they're checking for any problems or any issues that they might come up against. Now the key to this review is for you to be brutally honest. And this is where you'll find with this unit that if you've done the work and created the documents and been honest from the beginning, and kind of put the effort in and completed them correctly, then this will be easy, because you would have talked about some of the problems and the finances, and then you can obviously now review them based on what you know 3, 4, 5 weeks later into the project. Now M2 says complete a phase review, and basically this here is your phase review. I probably would also recommend it, although it doesn't ask, that you summarize the key findings, because the point of the phase review is that you then decide whether or not the project should continue, or you change how you are approaching it. So for example, okay, let's take the first one then. They said they were going to use Wix in the plan. The phase review says I'm still going to be using Wix, however it took me some time to get used to. So in your summarization of this, you could say that originally the plan was to use Wix. It has been challenging for me to get used to how to use it. In the future, I would potentially have some money put aside for some training of how to use the software. Okay, so just summarizing the key points in here. Remember, this isn't something that it's asking for. All it says is complete a phase review, and this is your evidence here of a phase review. But it's quite professional to then produce another page of A4, half page of A4 with the key findings and key kind of actions that you need to take in order to continue with this project. Okay, so again, fairly easy M2, nothing too demanding there. And don't forget, there's only 3 merits, so the next one will be wrapping up all the merit criteria before we then move on to the distinction criteria. Thanks for watching. If you've got any questions, any queries, etc., please let me know, and hope it's going well. Good luck. See you on the next one, M3.